Hi guys, my name is Chloe, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about all of the books that I would like to read this summer. Now, I don't really set myself TBRs, especially not monthly TBRs, because I never know how busy I'm going to be in a month and how much reading I can actually do. But since I do work according to school hours, I do have the summer completely off, so I figured it might be fun to put together a TBR and pick out books that I want to try and prioritise this summer. These are just going to be books that are on my physical TBR. I haven't even looked at the audiobooks and ebooks that I have because there are just so many books that I want to read right now. And I've also tried to prioritise books that have a summery feel to them and books that I'm more likely to pick up during this season. So yeah, I'm not going to read all of these, I can guarantee you that, but I'm going to try and read as many of these as I can alongside other books that I will be reading here and there, especially as new releases come out and things like that. So yeah, for today's video I thought it might just be fun to share these books with you, and if you guys have read them as well, let me know and I might be more inclined to pick up those books sooner rather than later. So I don't know how many books I've got here today, but I have split them up into 3 categories. The first category is going to be series continuations, so series that I've already started, and so I should really be prioritising these books to finish out some new series anyway. The next category are standalones, so not the end of the world if I want to pick them up. It's going to be a one-off read, books I'm excited for there. And then the final category are new series that I'm thinking of starting or possibly going to start this summer, but that will depend on how my reading goes. If I feel like I want to binge a series, I probably will. Otherwise it's less likely because my biggest goal is always to try and finish off the series that I'm currently in the middle of. So with all that out the way, let's get into it and see what I'm hoping to read this summer. So the first book that I'm probably going to get to on this list is Flash Fire and also Heatwave by TJ Klune. I just completed my reread of The Extraordinaries last week, I think, and I adored it. And this time I have the other books in the series versus having to wait for them to come out. So now I can jump back into this world with Nick and continue following him on his story and also finish up the trilogy as well, because yeah, this book is so great. Not my favourite TJ Klune book, The Extraordinaries, but the world is so lovely and it's just so wholesome and funny to read, and it's full of superheroes. So yeah, I can't wait to jump back into this world and finish off the trilogy. The next book that I would like to get to is actually a manga, and the only manga on this list, and that is One Piece. So here I have the 3rd omnibus, which has volumes 7, 8 and 9 in them, and I also have the next one that has 10, 11 and 12 in. So yeah, I'm slowly making my way through One Piece and I've been having a great time so far. I decided to pick this series up after seeing the Netflix trailer and I thought it looked amazing, so I wanted to jump in and at least read what the TV show is inspired by so that I can watch that without any spoilers. But yeah, at the moment I have no intentions of stopping reading One Piece. I'm just having a great time. It has pirates and adventure in it, and so far I love the characters, especially Zoro and Sanji. Those are my favourite characters so far and I can't wait to meet more as we go along. It is kind of ridiculous in places, but I think that's just the nature of the world. So yeah, it's always fun bumping into a new villain which has some crazy powers or just an unusual look. So yeah, I've been having a great time with this series so far and I'm hoping to at least finish, I think it's the rest of the East Blue Saga? Yeah, I think it's the East Blue Saga. I might be wrong, but yeah, I'd like to get that completed before the TV show comes out at the end of August. The next book on this list will finish a duology for me, and this is Hook, Line and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. I did read It Happened, I think It Happened One Summer or It Happened Last Summer by Tessa Bailey, and I did enjoy it. I think I either gave it a 3.5 or a 4. It was really great. So it'll be good to finish off the duology. I have heard that this one is better, but I've also heard that people prefer book 1 as well, so it could go either way, but either way I'm hoping I enjoy this one. I'm especially keen to get to this one since I did have to DNF. I think it's My Kilivigation or something by Tessa Bailey. I just could not get into that book. I did not have a great time, so this is also going to decide for me if I continue to read books by Tessa Bailey, because so far I've had one success and one fail, and depending on what side this one falls, that will probably decide if I continue to read her books or not. The next book on this list is going to be Blood Captain by Justin Somper. This is the third book in the Vampirate series. This is a reread for me. These are books that I adored when I was a lot younger, and I've been having the best time reading these books. So I would like to get to the third book. This one is quite chunky, even though it is a middle grade / teen book, so the writing is quite big. But yeah, I'd at least like to read the third book, if not continue on this series, because this is just, again, a piratey story, great for the summer, and we are following Grace and Connor. One of them found themselves on board the vampirate ship and the other one on board the pirate ship, and yeah, again, it's just a great time full of adventure and funny moments and vampires, and anything with vampires in it is usually going to be even more enjoyable for me. So yeah, this is the best of both worlds. So now we are moving on to the next category, which are standalone books that I want to get to soon. The one that is top of this list for me is Love Phoretically by Ali Hazelwood. This one's been out for I think about a month now, I just haven't picked it up. I absolutely loved Love Hypothesis, and I really liked Love on the Brain as well, just not quite as much, and I've heard amazing things about this one. For some people this have been their favourite Ali Hazelwood book so far, so I can't wait to get into this. And even though this one isn't kind of summery, I feel like contemporary romance I'm more likely to pick up during the summer anyway, and I'm already excited for it, so I'm going to pop this one on the list. The next book on this list is one that I hauled quite recently as well. It's quite a new release, and it's one that I didn't really hear much of before until I saw this edition on Waterstones, and I just saw the pages and I had to pick it up. So this one is You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Bayron, the same author who wrote, I think, Cinderella is Dead, which I read and I really quite liked. But yeah, the main reason I got this book was for these, well, gorgeous, it's blood splatter, but I think it's gorgeous and really clever sprayed edges. It's only on the side. And yeah, this one is really small, so it's going to be a nice, easy, quick read, maybe sat outside in the sunshine. And yeah, this one, whilst it doesn't seem seasonal, it is set when these kids go to summer camp and then bad things start to happen there. So it's like a thriller that is set in the summer. So I figured, why not have this be a thriller that I read if I get the time or if I feel like it. And yeah, I really love the artwork on all of her covers as well. So I'm super excited to get to this one. The next book on this list is The Daughter of Dr. Moreau by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I don't know why I felt drawn to this book right now. I think it's just the colour on the cover. It looks almost Spanish in a way. I don't know if it is, but it just reminds me of houses that you'd see when you go visit other countries on holiday, and it feels kind of summery, and I think it might even be set on an island, so I don't know why it feels summery to me, but it does, even though it's still kind of dark and gothic-y. But I love dark gothic books, and if I'm more inclined to read this one now, why not? But yeah, I don't really know too much about this one. I know it does follow the daughter of Dr. Moreau, and I think he is someone who creates monsters. It's been a while since I've read the synopsis, and I don't want to just read out the plot in this video, so yeah, I don't know why I'm drawn to this one, but I am. And yeah, I loved Mexican Gothic, so I have high hopes for this one as well. The next book that I want to read this summer isn't out yet, but I will be picking it up as soon as it is, and this is Fawn Hedge by T. Kingfisher. I saw the cover for this one and immediately got super excited for it, because of the cover, but also because it is T. Kingfisher. I read Nettle and Bone, I think it was the end of last year now, if not the beginning of this year time, and I fell in love with it. I absolutely adored this book, and this one looks like it could be kind of similar. So T. Kingfisher does write in lots of different genres. They've done some horror, and this one falls more in the fantasy sort of fairy tale side of things as well, so I'm super excited for it. At first I thought it was going to follow a main character who is a toad, so I was extra excited considering the last one had a chicken possessed by a demon in it. Turns out I was wrong. I think it is a human or a fae or something like that. They're just called toadlin. So slightly disappointed by that. It could have been brilliant just following this frog on an adventure. But that aside, it is some kind of Sleeping Beauty retelling. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I would probably read this more in autumn, but there's a chance that I'm going to pick this one up as soon as it falls into my hands. The next book I'm thinking of reading this summer would be a reread for me, and this is Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This is purely because of the movie coming out. I have a strong urge to read this one again. I might not, I might still just watch the movie anyway, but I would love to read this one first and then like make comparisons in my head as I'm watching the movie as well. It would just be a great time to pick this one up. And again, contemporary romance, it just feels so summery to me, and I remember just having the best time reading this one before, so if I'm gonna reread it, it would be this summer. And finally, the last category for my summer TBR are going to be new series, and whilst I have read the first book in these series before, I've completely forgotten them, so technically they're new series to me because they're not on my currently reading list. But anyway, the first one on this list, and super summery, it really fits the vibes that I'm going for, and this is Fable by Adrian Young. This was the first book that I received from Fairy Loot, and I read it and I absolutely adored it. But yeah, the sequel wasn't out yet, and then I left it so long that I just forgot what happened and then never read Namesake. So ideally I would like to read Fable and Namesake this summer, just because, yeah, the cover is absolutely gorgeous. It has those summery vibes. It's set by the ocean. I think there are even pirates in this again, and yeah, it's just everything that I want to pick up this summer. And this time I can just go straight on to book 2 and finish out the duology, so that would just be amazing. The next series I'm considering reading this summer is Heartstopper. Again, with the second series coming out, I would like to read more of the graphic novels. So far I have only read the first one in preparation for season 1, and I haven't read past that point. At the moment I only own the first 2 volumes, but if I start reading them I might hoard them and just binge them all, because yeah, these graphic novels, they're so cute, they're really easy to read. I flew through the first one, I adored the show, I'm getting excited for the show again, so yeah, there's a chance that I might be reading Heartstopper this summer as well, and hopefully finishing out the series. And the final series on this list is going to be the Daevabad trilogy. So here I've got The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. This is going to be the series that I'm least likely to read because it is like a high fantasy, it is quite involved, and I do sometimes struggle with reading high fantasies. They do take me a lot longer. This one I have read before a good while ago now. I can't remember what happens, but I just remember really enjoying it, and the setting with the djinn and the magic. I just had the best time reading this book and I really loved it, and then I never continued with the series, so I figure the summer is like one of the best times to pick this up because it will just add to the atmosphere in this book. And I do own all 3 books now, so I can just fly through them as best I can if I wish. So yeah, this one is probably the least likely to happen out of all of them, but it's in the back of my mind and I still would like to get to it if I can. So that was it. Those are all the books that I'm hoping to read this summer. As I said before, there's no way I'm going to be reading all of these. If I can get through half of them, on top of other reads that I pick up as I go, I will be thrilled. But yeah, let me know down below if you've read any of these books and what did you think. I would love to know your thoughts. But as always, I hope you're enjoying your current reads, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!